There's some 340-pound foster mother who had a 10-year-old foster child that was misbehaving, and she sat on that child for 5 minutes and killed that child. She got a 6-year sentence, and I believe some of it, all of it, some is a suspended sentence. I'm not sure, but she only got 6 years. And I pointed out, like, holy cow, this woman sat on a child, 340 pounds, sat on a 10-year-old, 90-pound child and killed this 10-year-old child and got 6 years. Derek Chauvin restrained a resisting criminal in the way that he had been trained by the state of Minnesota, and he got 22 years. I know this is in different states. I know this is in different times, but someone's got to make it make sense to me that by the way, Derek Chauvin is 165 pounds. This is a 340-pound woman sitting on a 10-year-old child and somehow a 6-year prison sentence with some and or all of it suspended. It's mind-blowing to me.
Yes, and I'm glad these two you tied these two together, because had that been Derek Chauvin getting that light sentence, America would probably still be burning. 5 years later, it would still be burning because people would not have accepted that. Yet there's no outrage for the life of this little boy. It's almost as if no one cares. He never existed. She got a shorter sentence than he actually was on this earth. I think it's ridiculous because he was a foster child? Is it because he was in the system? There's no value to his life. I just didn't understand. It shows exactly how evil we are. And it does go back to showing that Derek got a really harsh sentence, and race did play a part of that. The fact that people were pressuring the jury or whatever, it shows that they did exactly what they did to this man because of the pressure from the black race, from those who felt white guilt and felt like he needed to serve all of this time. Because when you look at the two, they just don't compare. I can even think about my uncle who was murdered back in 2003. His killer who shot him in the head, my uncle was buckled in his seat, in the front seat. He was buckled in by the seatbelt, and the person that killed him was sitting in the back seat. So obviously, my uncle was no threat to him, but he shot him in the back of the head. He only got 15 years and only served, I think, 7. So we definitely know race played a part in Derek Chauvin's case. So if they actually gave him a shorter sentence, I would definitely support that. But I think the pardon would just be going too far, because the pardon would say he did absolutely nothing wrong. And I would definitely support some type of shortened sentence though.
Whether you're using unencrypted or unsecured Wi-Fi networks, ExpressVPN keeps you safe by shielding your connection from prying eyes. It makes you much more anonymous, helping you browse the web without leaving a trail. Plus, ExpressVPN makes it more difficult for advertisers and big tech to track you online, putting you back in charge of your digital footprint. Find out how you can get 4 months free by clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/fearless.
I do, and we're not going to debate this, I do think he did absolutely nothing wrong. But I'm going to say this. Let's just think about this. A 10-year-old child misbehaving. A 40-some-odd-year grown drug addict misbehaving. Both of them restrained for misbehaving. There's more outrage. There's more passion. There's more interest in the 40-some-year-old career criminal drug addict who misbehaved, and a police officer restrained him in the way that the state had trained him. There's more outrage. And so what we know, going back to the race deal, is if this 10-year-old white child were black and this 340-pound white woman was still white, there would be so much, whatever town this happened in would be on fire right now tonight. And it wouldn't even matter, literally, if they gave her a sentence of 20 years. People would say, how come it wasn't 21? How come it wasn't 25? How come it wasn't a life sentence? This is a proof. Black lives don't matter, is what they would be saying. And so when you look at these two situations, is what we're really arguing is that white lives don't matter? Because a 10-year-old child misbehaving got killed, and the killer got 6 years, and a 40-year-old career criminal drug addict misbehaving, overdosed on drugs, and a cop perhaps assisted him in suicide, got 22 years. Maybe it's time to dust off the Candace Owens, Kanye West, White Lives Matter t-shirts, because that seems to be the issue more so than the other way around, if we're just basing it on the criminal justice system.
Yeah, I think white lives don't matter. And I also believe black lives don't matter unless the black life is taken by a white person. That's just the bottom line. We see them get upset, burn down stores, loot, riot, but they only do it when the killer is white. And that shows to me nobody really cares about life. Life isn't significant to them. These are the same people that are pushing abortion, knowing how abortion affects the black community. So they don't care about life. It's all about optics. It's all about race. It's all about skin worship. And that's just what it is. If it was really about life, they would be just as outraged about this little boy losing his life in this manner, the same way they were outraged about George Floyd. But it's not about life. And we knew that then, which is why if Derek Chauvin had gotten off back then, I would have been fine. I wouldn't have been one of these people that were upset and saying, oh, he got off because he was white. Because as you mentioned, this was him following protocol. And this was a technique that he learned. I actually have a friend that's a police officer who said, this is a real technique and he's going to get off because of that. So we were all shocked when he actually was proven guilty. But because of the race element, we knew that was the reason that he was actually found guilty. It's just that now for Trump to step in, I don't think it would be a good thing for Trump. And for me, I'm all about winning. I'm sorry. Just
all I do is win, no matter
okay.
what.
Right.
All right.
No matter what.
Speaker, thank you so much.
Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.